Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a notice to let everyone know that a photo will be taken of each graduate on the platform between June 17 and September 17. Graduates will be able to download a print quality photo at umb.ca/graduation/Encaenia. Thank you very much and have a pleasant morning.
Amplissime cancelari, placetni tibi ad officium incipiat.
Plaquette.
Please remain standing for the prayer of invocation given by Reverend Wilfred Langmaid, UNB student advocate.
Good morning. Oh my heavens, I didn't sign up for a funeral. Good morning. Before the invocation, just a tad of advice, because the hat that I wear today figuratively is within student services, and I want to think in a holistic way of all of you as graduates, some of whom I have met over the years, some of whom I have not. I'd encourage you to, if you have not already, develop some sort of an interior life. And what I mean by that is it could work within a particular spirituality, but for all of you to know yourself as the unique treasure that you are following your passion. It may have been Oscar Wilde, probably wasn't, said, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken." The other role that I have here, the chief role, is to lead in a brief word of prayer. And it is going to follow the mantra or teaching which is articulated in the First Nations teaching, "Listen or your tongue will cause you to become deaf." Or, in fact, the first words of the not written in 1604, but actually earliest 20th century prose poem Desiderata, "Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence." I'd ask us all to be quiet for a moment and reflect before these grand, wonderful celebrations begin. Let's be thankful for this day. Thankful for those who have guided us on our way. Thankful for parents, family members, spouses, soulmates, children, faculty, staff, classmates, people who have brought us here this day. Let's be thankful for all the gifts that we've been given, all the opportunities we've been given. Let's be thankful for the strength we've shown. And let's be thankful for this very moment. In joyful anticipation of this day and of all that lies ahead. Amen.
Please be seated. I will now call upon Imelda Purley, UNB's elder in residence, to deliver a traditional Wolastoqey Maliseet welcome. Imelda.
Kolasik Open, Wolastoqey Aig, UNB. We welcome you to the territory of the Wolastoqey people, the people of the river, where UNB is situated. Zabai gizi michip so gilwa, gizit bida hudman so to bida haswagan, nemit wagan, got bistawagan, besatwek, skuidamik, nakakmuswanua. This morning I did a sweetgrass ceremony. Sweetgrass is a gift of our Earth Mother. And in that sweetgrass ceremony, we call it the hair of Mother Earth. I did a ceremony for each and every one of you as the sun was coming up. And what the ceremony is I burn the sweetgrass and I bring it to the top of my head to give gratitude for each and every one of you that are carrying the knowledge forward from this day on. I gave gratitude for each of you for the vision that you have for your futures. I gave gratitude for the listening skills of listening to creation and not just human noise. I gave gratitude for you to honor the smells. Everybody has a favorite smell. This morning probably was Tim Hortons, but everybody has a favorite smell. It's a gift of creation. We brought the smoke to our mouth so that we give honor for the praise you're going to hear today, to accept it, to carry it forward, and pay it forward. We bring the smoke to our hearts so that we honor the feeling that you have today, that joy that was mentioned earlier, that pride, that sense of accomplishment, and that's what the heart medicine is. We bring the smoke to our hands so that now that you're graduates, you have work to do for society. May your hands be blessed and the work you do be of greatness for all humanity and creation. We bring the smoke to our feet so that we honor the earth walk, that little walk down the hill, I think it was this time, but the walk to your careers, your future. Honor your earth walk. That's why we wear moccasins. People think we can't pick the pair of shoes that we want to wear, but it's the moccasins. I honor deer, four-leggeds. I honor the four-leggeds. I honor the winged ones. I honor the tree people by the drum that it makes for me. And so I bring all of this forward to you today. I'm going to go to the four directions because all of us come from the four directions. And I am inviting for the rest of the day the ancestors from the east to honor our day. The ancestors from the south to teach us about our heart medicine. The ancestors from the west to remind us that there were 7 generations before us and we all have ancestors that are on the other side. And then the fourth one is to honor the ones yet to come, because you will be leaving a beautiful path of your life for the ones yet to be born. Drum is a symbol of all of our heartbeats. Today they're beating as one. And sometimes people will say, how come there's no words to some of your songs? It's what we call your first chant when a child is born. Doctors call it baby's first cry. We call it the first chant. So we honor ancestral breath when we do songs without words. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Elder Purley. I'm going to take a moment now here at the beginning of our ceremony and introduce to you your platform party. I would ask that you hold your applause until the end. members of the platform party, as I call your name, please briefly stand. Joining me on the stage are Shirley Cleave, Interim Vice President, Fredericton Academic, Margaret Conrad, Professor Emerita, Gwendolyn Davies, Orator, Sarah Deveron, University Secretary, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Lucier with the Canadian Forces Base Gagetown, Margaret Grant McGivney, Executive Director of UNB's Associated Alumni and a member of our Board of Governors, Don Harrington, Acting University Comptroller, Greg Keeley, Professor Emeritus Honoree, Linda Keeley, Professor Emerita Honoree, John Kershaw, Acting Dean of Graduate Studies, Reverend Wilfred Langmaid, UNB Student Advocate, from whom you just heard, Ambassador Deborah Lyons, Honorary Degree Recipient, George McLean, Dean of Arts, Allison McCain, our Chancellor, Catherine McCain, the Chair of our Board of Governors, Nicole O'Byrne, a member of our Board of Governors, Shelley Pelkey, a member of our Board of Governors, Imelda Purley, Elder in Residence, from whom you just heard. It's a great pleasure to me to welcome my colleague, Don Russell, President of St. Thomas University. Don, thank you for being here today. Bob Skillen, Vice President Advancement, Cynthia Stacy, Dean of Renaissance College, Karen Taylor, past President of UNB's Associated Alumni and member of UNB's Board of Governors, Luke Theriault, Acting Assistant Dean of Graduate Studies, the Honorable Jocelyn Roy Vigneault, Lieutenant Governor of New Brunswick, Captain Paul Dowling, Aide-de-Camp for the Lieutenant Governor of New Brunswick, Gary Waite, past Chair of the History Department, John Williamson, Interim Dean of Law, Brad Woodside, the Mayor of Fredericton, and my name is Eddie Campbell, and I'm your President and Vice Chancellor. Thanks to all of you for being part of this special day. And welcome all of you to this, the 186th Encaenia of the University of New Brunswick in Fredericton. History surrounds us here. Some 230 years ago, on this very spot, settlers here in the land of the Wolastoqey and Maliseet peoples found a new place for their home of higher learning. Out of the forest that still lines much of the hill behind me, they carved out a space for their School of Liberal Arts and Sciences. And from this, the University of New Brunswick was born. It wasn't easy for the settlers in those early days. They struggled through harsh conditions to merely stay alive. That struggle is what makes their focus on higher education all the more admirable. Today, as graduates, you follow in their footsteps. Learning is a lifelong endeavor, and it is not something that will stop once you leave these halls. As you embark on the exciting journey ahead of you, you will have some great moments, you'll have some good moments, and you will have some bad moments. But I urge you to take risks. Step outside of your comfort zone. Embrace the opportunities that come your way. They will almost certainly not be what you originally had planned, but you never know what greatness or happiness you will find in the unexpected. And don't be afraid to fail. Everyone is faced with failure at some point in their lives. It's by making mistakes that you learn, just like the settlers who built this university. I also want to let you know that we all believe that you are the ambassadors of the future, and we want you to be ambassadors for the kind of world in which you want to live. Congratulations to each and every one of you. I do want to take a special moment here to acknowledge for the people gathered around you looking down that I'm one of you today. It's a great pleasure to me that I have a son graduating from the law school in a few minutes. I would like to now draw your attention to page 16 of the program. The medals listed will be presented during our Encaenia ceremonies. All other medals and prizes appear below the recipient's name in the graduation list. These medals and prizes will be presented at a faculty awards ceremony or can be picked up at the Financial Services Office in the IUC Physics Building. On behalf of the university, I offer my congratulations to all of the recipients, and I express our hope that you will maintain the high standards that you have demonstrated in qualifying for these awards. I will now ask Interim Vice President Fredericton Academic Shirley Cleave to assist the Honourable Jocelyn Waugh Vigneault, Lieutenant Governor of New Brunswick, with the presentation of medals.
The Douglas Gold Medal is UNB's oldest academic award. It was endowed by Sir Howard Douglas, the 3rd Lieutenant Governor of the province, and was first presented in 1833. It is awarded for the best composition of any subject within the regular course of study pursued in the university. This year, the Douglas Gold Medal is awarded to Joseph Cameron Burton in the Faculty of Arts for his composition, The Religious Political Complex, the New American Right and a Politics of Fear. Mr. Burton, please come forward to receive your medal from the Lieutenant Governor. Through the generosity of the Lieutenant Governor, a silver medal is awarded each spring to the outstanding graduating student in each of the faculties on the Fredericton campus. At this ceremony, we will present the medals in Arts, Law, and Renaissance College. I would ask each recipient to come forward as your name is called to receive the medal from the Lieutenant Governor. The Lieutenant Governor's silver medal in Arts is awarded to Serena Marie Shandick. However, Ms. Shandick is a concurrent arts and science graduate, and she received her degrees and medal from the Lieutenant Governor at yesterday's science ceremony. So, the Lieutenant Governor's silver medal for Renaissance College is awarded to Santasia Satova. The Lieutenant Governor's Silver Medal in Law is awarded to Brent Eric McCumber.
At this time, we will confer the honorary rank of Professor Emeritus. The candidates will be presented by Dr. Cleave.
The Professor Emeritus distinction is awarded only to retired faculty members. Criteria for the honorary rank include teaching performance of exceptional merit, extensive research, publication of unusually high quality, creative contributions to the administration and development of the university, and a record of professional conduct that indicates fair and ethical treatment of students and other members of the Academy. Candidates must be approved by the university's Board of Governors. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Gregory Keeley to stand. I would now like to call upon Dr. Gary Waite, Chair of the History Department, and a former colleague of Dr. Keeley's, to read his citation.
Gregory Keeley to be Professor Emeritus in History. Dr. Gregory Keeley is one of Canada's best-known academic leaders. He has earned an impressive national and international reputation for his achievements in research, teaching, and leadership in university administration. During his tenure at UNB, Dr. Keeley made an outstanding contribution to the History Department and to the advancement of research in the humanities and social sciences. He held various senior administrative positions at UNB, including Vice President Research from 2001 to 2012 and Provost from 2008 to 2012. A prodigious researcher, writer, and editor, Dr. Keeley has authored or co-authored 5 monographs and more than 50 refereed scholarly articles and book chapters. The founding editor of Labour Le Travail, Journal of Canadian Labour Studies, Dr. Keeley has helped to pioneer a new field of studies in Canada, establishing standards of excellence and inclusiveness that have given this journal an international reputation. He served as editor for 21 years and continues to provide leadership on its editorial board. He is also editor of the Canadian Social History book series and the Working Canadian book series. He's given more than 100 conference presentations and has supervised 20 PhDs and 15 master's students and mentored 8 postdoctoral fellows. Many of these scholars are among the most active practitioners of history in Canada. His numerous awards include the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal and Fellow of the Royal Historical Society and the Royal Society of Canada. He has also won several major scholarly prizes for his monographs, most recently for his co-authored Secret Service, Political Policing in Canada from the Fenians to Fortress America of 2012. As Vice President Research, Dr. Keeley oversaw the strengthening and restructuring of UNB's Office of Research Services and increased the research portfolio at UNB, doubling the amount of external research grants and awards received annually. Within the university, he chaired the advisory boards of the Canadian Research Institute for Social Policy, the Canadian Rivers Institute, the Chronic Illness Research Institute, the Institute of Biomedical Engineering, Enterprise UNB, and was a member of the board of directors of the Muriel McQueen Ferguson Centre for Family Violence Research. Dr. Keeley has been active on more than a dozen research organizations and advisory committees and on numerous academic bodies. He has served as president of both the Canadian Historical Association and the Social Science Federation of Canada, and chaired or served on the boards of many provincial and national organizations, including Knowledge Park, the Research Productivity Council, the New Brunswick Innovation Foundation, BioAtlantec, the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council, the Royal Society of Canada, and the Council of Canadian Academies. For his dedication to teaching and research and his leadership as a university administrator, Dr. Gregory Keeley is most deserving of the honor of Professor Emeritus at the University of New Brunswick.
Insignis me presi, implicime cancelleri, toda universitas, commendo vobis Gregorium Keeley, ut ea conferitas honoris causa professoris imperitae in hac universitate.
Ego confero vobis Gregorio Keeley, ab manera tua huic universitati, diu et signature explita titulum ac statum professoris emeritae in Universitati Novi Brunswicki.
Dr. Linda Keeley, I invite you to please stand. I'd like to once again call upon Dr. Gary Waite to read the citation.
Linda Keeley to be Professor Emerita in History. When Dr. Linda Keeley arrived at UNB in 2002, she already had an admirable record of achievement. Her scholarship, teaching, and community service while at UNB have cemented her national and international reputations as a scholar. She has contributed significantly to the Department of History's research profile, attracted new graduate students, and served at all levels of university governance. She has published over 24 refereed articles and chapters in a groundbreaking monograph, Enlisting Women for the Cause, Women, Labour, and the Left in Canada. She has also edited 4 volumes of essays and published many non-refereed and creative items. She has been a co-editor of Atlantis and the Canadian Historical Review and has sat on several journal editorial and advisory boards. She has also appraised numerous manuscripts for journals and presses. She's presented her research at several dozen academic conferences and served on the Aid to Scholarly Publishing Program's Board of Management. Dr. Keeley was a key member of the Reconnecting with the History of Labour in New Brunswick team that was funded by the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council's Community University Research Alliance. In 2009, she convened its conference, Informing Public Policy, Socioeconomic and Historical Perspectives on Labor in New Brunswick, which brought together academics, politicians, and community partners. Dr. Keeley has supervised 5 UNB PhD students through to completion of their dissertations and was a critical agent in the development of the proposal for the Atlantic Canada Studies Centre, which is now up and running. In 2011, she shared the responsibility for the success of the Congress of the Humanities and Social Sciences that elevated the reputation of UNB and STU. As academic convener, she was the go-between for the national leadership of the Canadian Federation for the Humanities and Social Sciences and the dozens of scholarly societies that meet at Congress. For this service in particular, she was awarded a UNB President's Medal in 2012. During her time at UNB, she has served on the Board of Governors and Fredericton Senate. A Fellow of the Royal Historical Society, her most recent scholarly efforts focus on women's history in North America, as well as the history of healthcare. During her 10-year career at UNB, she proved herself a stellar colleague, scholar, and teacher, and brought considerable honor to UNB. Linda Keeley is most deserving of the designation of Professor Emerita at the University of New Brunswick.
Insignissimi praesi simplissime cancellari tota universitas commendo vobis Lindam Kelly ut ei conferitas honoris causa professor emeriti in hac universitate.
Ego confero vobis Linda Keeley ob manera tua huic universitati dio et in signature explita titulum ac statum professoris emeriti in universitati Novi Brunswicki. I would like to say, on a personal level, how delighted I am to be friends of Greg and Linda. I worked very closely with Greg in his role as the Vice President Research and Provost when I arrived here at UNB, and they're just two really fine people, and I think it's somehow really cool and exciting that a husband and wife team both received this designation, both of them on the merits of their own cases. So congratulations to you both. We will now proceed to the conferring of an honorary degree. The recipient will be presented by the orator, Dr. Gwendolyn Davies. Gwen.
Ambassador Deborah Lyons, to be Doctor of Letters honoris causa. Little could Ambassador Deborah Lyons have anticipated years ago when she graduated with a BA honors degree in biology from UNB and addressed an Encaenia such as this one as the class valedictorian, that she would someday represent Canada in the field of international diplomacy in places as diverse as Washington, Tokyo, and Afghanistan. A native of Chatham and one of 9 children in a family where there was a focus on the importance of education, she returned to the Miramichi after graduation to work first in tourism and then consulting. Her experience as a young independent businesswoman, she noted in a YouTube interview in Afghanistan in 2014, taught her how to work hard, how to work with people, and how to value staff as one's most important asset in business. These are values that she has carried into her subsequent career, joining the federal government service in 1982, where she rapidly rose in responsibility with the Department of Natural Resources, the Privy Council Office, and ACOA. As Director for Trade and Technology at ACOA, she worked for over 6 years on energy conservation and on establishing the first pan-Atlantic trade agreement within the 4 Atlantic provinces. However, it was her enrollment in an international studies program at the National Defense College in 1993 that changed her professional directions, encouraging her to go into the diplomatic corps. Joining the Department of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Development in 1999, she was posted to Tokyo as counselor for high-tech industries, was appointed as Director, International Finance, became Director General, North American Commercial Affairs, and was made Assistant Deputy Minister for Strategic Policy and Planning and Chief Strategist. In 2010, Ambassador Lyons was appointed Deputy Head of Mission at the Canadian Embassy in Washington, a role where, according to one of her nominators for this honorary degree, she was, and I quote, held in very high regard by all those working with her and was highly respected for her accomplishments, end of quote. Ambassador Lyons was appointed Canada's representative in Afghanistan in 2013, affirming, as she took office, that she would represent our national position on issues such as human rights, in particular the rights of women and girls, good governance, and freedom of the press. She also has placed great importance on working with the business community in order to explore economic support for Afghans. And initiatives focusing on education, health programs, rule of law, and human rights have become central to her daily agenda, particularly when they advance the cause of girls and women. During her ambassadorship, she has thus far witnessed rapid changes in Afghanistan, including the departure of Canadian and other NATO international security assistance troops in 2014, the transfer of power to the Afghan National Security Forces, the unprecedented 75% voting turnout in the presidential election, the rise in school enrollment to 9 million children, 40% of them girls, the increase in women parliamentarians, now 25% of Parliament, and the nearly complete eradication of polio, due partly to a vaccination program in which Canada played a central role. However, as Ambassador Lyons has noted in Maclean's in January 2015, many challenges remain in Afghanistan, including a weak economy, corruption, and ongoing danger from insurgency. For example, she rides in an armored car with 350-pound doors, and she has guards. But in the nearly hour-long interview from Kabul recorded on YouTube on April 6, 2014, Ambassador Lyons discussed with a young Afghan woman reporter the importance of Afghanistan's fostering national progress through the advancement and empowerment of women, by creating a secure environment for girls and women, by empowering them with literacy, by opening opportunities for them to be part of the political process, and by giving them economic tools. Medical knowledge, particularly in the area of maternal, newborn, and child health, voting confidence, political candidacy, and business acumen are part of the vision that she embraces for Afghan women, and that she so personally and skillfully is fostering as part of the Afghanistan-Canadian partnership emanating from her office. Ambassador Lyons has enjoyed a distinguished public career serving Canada both at home and abroad, culminating at this juncture in her being Canada's ambassador to Afghanistan, and I might add, the only woman ambassador in Afghanistan. It is with great pleasure that the University of New Brunswick now honors her achievements and her contributions to her country by conferring upon her the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa. Insignissime praeses, amplissime cancellari, tota universitas, praesento vobis Deborah Lyons, ut admitatur honoris causa, ad gradum doctoris in litteris in hac universitate.
Ego admitto te, Deborah Lyons, honoris causa, ad gradum doctoris in litteris in Universitati Novi Brunswicki. It is now my privilege and a great pleasure to invite Dr. Deborah Lyons to address this Encaenia. Dr. Lyons.
Wow, what an incredible day. I am reminded of the words of the wonderful Afghan poet Rumi when he said, "On a day when the wind is perfect, the sail just needs to open and the world is full of beauty. Today is such a day." As you, the graduates of 2015, open your sails and set off on your journeys, today is truly full of beauty. Today is such a day. Lieutenant Governor, Chancellor McCain, President Campbell, platform guests, wonderful dedicated faculty, friends and proud parents, and you, the happy, spirited UNB graduating class of 2015, soon to set sail. What an honor it is for me to be here with you. I stood here at the podium as UNB's first female valedictorian in 1971. Do not do the math. I am delighted that the winds of fate have steered me back here to accept this incredible tribute, this honorary degree, but all the more so because I did not have to cram for exams for this one. I know you can relate. I believe I am here today because I have the privilege of being Canada's first female ambassador to Afghanistan, continuing the work that so many brave Canadians have done over the past 15 years. Helping the Afghan people rebuild their nation, including giving Afghan girls and boys the chance to take the same educational journey that you are all just completing today. But sometimes I wonder, how did a young girl from a large, poor family growing up in the Miramichi River in northern New Brunswick become an ambassador? Well, that's easy to answer. I am a UNB graduate. I was here at UNB at the beginning of the women's movement and the middle of the Cold War. We thought talking on a payphone was cool. And we spent hours planning the next student demonstration and organizing sit-ins. I'll say that now that I have my degree. You all have been much better behaved than we were. Every generation feels that they are special, and mine certainly did. After all, we were hippies, flower children, a terrible sense of dress, and I'm just glad that no one could take selfies back then. But I am here to tell you, seriously, that your generation, you folks really are special. Yours is the first generation that can end world poverty. But you are also the last generation that can stop climate change. And I also believe that yours is the generation that is going to get us to true equality. Equality regardless of gender, regardless of race, regardless of sexual orientation, regardless of religion or any other form of discrimination. True equality. When I graduated, women were only a third of the university population. Today they make up almost 60%. And at that time, it was virtually unheard of for women to be appointed as ambassadors. Now, 1 in 4 are women. But even this incredible progress in our own country remains a far distant dream for most women around the world. Women and girls make up 70% of the world's poor and 2/3 of its illiterate population. So I am really proud of Canada's efforts to help support Afghan women in their daily struggle for a better life, a struggle that has become iconic of women's empowerment around the world. I've been told by Afghan women that I give them hope in my role as ambassador, but in truth, watching them risk their life to go and vote, risk their life to get their babies vaccinated, it is they who give me hope. Each day in Afghanistan, I see us all move a little closer to a global family where all are valued and given the opportunity to be all that we can be. I was introduced to the women's movement right here on this campus, and it changed my life. Now, I take that wisdom and I use it as an unrelenting advocate to help improve the lives of others. That's what UNB taught me to do. That's what this proud, proud university expected me to do. Now, it will expect the same of you, to take what you have learned here and make your own contributions to the world around you. We call this your commencement because your journey is just beginning. You must now chart your own course through life's wonderful adventures. And I must, as your commencement speaker, try to offer you a bit of wisdom that I gathered along my voyage. So here's what I've learned, what I think is important. Remember your roots. Hang on to the people who matter. And above all, be courageous. First, no matter where you sail, always remember your home ports. You don't know where you're headed yet, and even if you had some ideas, I can tell you, life will be full of surprises. I studied biology and the arts here at UNB, and yet somehow I ended up running a fishing hunting lodge, building schools in Africa, teaching in the West Indies, working in Tokyo, negotiating with the US on trade agreements, and traveling in military helicopters in Afghanistan. But everywhere I went, I carried the essence of home with me. And I come back every year to New Brunswick to be strengthened and renewed. I was raised by caring, committed parents who taught me to love deeply and often, and to work hard always, and who, in spite of having no money, or probably because of it, put a huge value on education. They would be bursting with pride to be here with all of you graduates today. I want to say their names to you now: Rita and Joe Lyons. They are my personal heroes, and I know that each of you have your own, either here with you today or in your thoughts. Beyond family, neighbors on the Miramichi, and the wise, wise professors at UNB taught me that we are all here to look after one another. That when tragedy happens to one of us, it happens to all of us, and so too joy is shared. With their wins in my sails, is it any wonder that I became a diplomat working in the global neighborhood? Second, remember that the journey is all about the people you will meet along the way. Some will become treasured friends, and others will be the briefest of encounters, but be open to learning from all of them. I have many special people in my life, and I would be less of a person if I had not met up with them. My 75-year-old neighbor, Fent, when I asked him for gardening advice as a new gardener, turned and replied to me simply, "Well, I don't know. I just put the seeds in the ground and see if they grow." It became a motto for life. Don't be afraid to plant the seed and let it grow. Or my colleague Alan, who gave me the best advice on parenting when he said, "Deborah, spend time with your kids. They'll turn out okay." And as an aside, I want to share with you, due to a big secret conspiracy with the President's office, the Dean of Arts office, and my wonderful daughter, who has an important job with Facebook in San Francisco, they all conspired to have her arrive at the hotel last night to surprise me for this moment. She is kind of at my graduation. And it's just another example of what an incredible human touch UNB has. Also, I want to tell you about the wisdom I learned from my Japanese friends, the joy of music that my Irish ancestors and my cousin Harry taught me, the gift of friendship that my roommates here at UNB gave me and continue to share with me all these years later. The best part of the journey is the people. They will provide the love, the fun, the shared laughter. And when your boat goes a little off course, they will be the ones to help tow you back to your North Star. And lastly, be courageous. You now face an exciting world of possibilities, but also great uncertainty. In Afghanistan, I have had to search for reserves of courage I never knew I had, living in a conflict zone where suicide bombings are tragically common. But I have seen true courage in action. The courage of the young Canadian soldiers, some of who are with us today here. These young Canadian soldiers who serve so bravely and with kindness, as Canadians do. Their courage drew me to Afghanistan to continue their legacy, and it propels me every day in their memory. Or the courage of the young Afghans risking their lives simply by going to school. When I meet with them, I have a full security team protecting me, but I watch them leave the school alone. These young girls and boys with their great courage and their even greater vulnerability. And I ask myself, who protects them? And the answer is simple and disturbing. I must. We all must. Guided by their courage, we must never again allow fear or terror to dim their essential and illuminating flame of knowledge. But of course, you don't need to go to Afghanistan to see courage. You see it in the everyday acts of ordinary people, the courage it took for your parents to get you to this point, the courage it will take each of you to pursue the job of your dreams, to commit to a life partner, to become a good parent, or whatever it is that you choose to do. Life takes courage. When life presents you with different paths, my advice to every one of you is to choose the one that takes the most courage. That is where you will find more of yourself. So today the wind is perfect, and our world is full of beauty. I wish I could tell you that you are going off to calm seas and a steady breeze, but you know the seas will get rough sometimes and the winds will be fierce. Your journey will be long, and you'll end up changing your destination, sometimes by choice and sometimes by necessity. But if you remember where you came from, if you focus on the people around you, and if you are courageous, you are going to love this journey. And if you're lucky and take what UNB has given you, you may even make the passage a little easier for the people who follow. So off you go, sail away from the hill. Whatever your course, you will always carry UNB with you. As President Campbell said, you are all now ambassadors. Like me, we are all UNB ambassadors. It is our personal task to be representatives of a life fully lived. So UNB graduates of 2015, I am proud to count you as my fellow alumni, and I wish you all the very best, full and open sails, and safe travels. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lyons. Clearly a lot to think about in that. We will now proceed to the conferring of degrees in course. May I extend to all of you who will graduate here today the warmest congratulations of your university. When you first came here as a student, you became a member of the UNB family, and today all of this family, faculty, staff, teachers, colleagues, friends, administrators, have come here to share in your pride in reaching this important milestone in your lives. We recognize your hard work and your sacrifice, and we wish you every success and every happiness in the future. We hope that you will always value what you have learned here, and that you will forever remember your alma mater with fondness and with affection. As each of you receives your degree today, you will be presented with a University of New Brunswick alumni pin by the UNB Associated Alumni. We will begin with the bachelor's degrees, followed by the master's and doctoral degrees. Candidates for the bachelor's degrees will be presented by the university orator.
The bachelor's degrees of Arts, Applied Arts, Arts and Science, Juris Doctor, Philosophy, and Integrated Studies. Candidates will remain seated for the supplication. Insignissime praeses, implicime cancelari, supplicant senatui at week venerabili collegio gubernatorum. He baccalaureus vel scholaris in facultate artium, in facultate legis, in collegium restaurationis, quorum nomina ex studia iam, riti cognitit sunt et promulgata, ut admittatur ad proprium baccalaureae, gradum in sua quisque facultata.
Placetni vobis senatores, placetni gubernatores, uti supplicatoris admittantur.
The supplicants for all the bachelor's degrees will now stand for presentation by the orator and admission by the president. Insignissime praeses, implicime cancelari, toto universitas praesento vobis hosci supplicatoris in supra dictis facultatibus, ut admittantur ad proprium baccalaureae gradum in sua quisque facultata, testorco o ilios, coad omnia quae statuta nostra requirent aptos et idionos esse.
Ego admitto vos ad gradum baccalaureae in Universitati Novi Brunswicki.
You will now proceed in your assigned order onto the dais for individual acceptance. The Bachelor of Arts with honors. The Dean of Arts, Dr. George McLean, will present the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Applied Arts, Bachelor of Arts and Science diplomas. Yvonne Jacqueline Anismotis. Megan Anrose Bateman. Olubami Emanuela Borisidi. Joseph Cameron Burton. Emily Sarah Carmichael. Zachariah Marcus Coakley. Robert Seth Cole. Elizabeth Barton Creelman. Sean Tyler Dory. Elizabeth Marie Claire Gange. Jennifer Ashley Harding. Martine Ingersoll. Tilly Marie Jackson. Thomas Niels Johansson. Diane Kelly. Jenica Jade Leet. Cassandra Elizabeth Long. Rachel Jean Lowe. Megan Faith Miller. Vanya Mitrovich. Markel Elizabeth Piers. Matthew Samuel Potter. Miriam Elaine Richet. Nicole Elizabeth Saunier. Jacob Paul Stoddard. Lee Nairi Thomas. Mokana Tushi. Amy Catherine Vale. Jamie Peter Willer. Mikhail Bask. Kathleen Marie Bull. Caitlin Elizabeth Gould. Brandy Lee Hurley. Alan Daniel McLean. Neil Joseph McGinnis. Kyla Renee Osachuk. Andrea Nicte San Jose. The Bachelor of Arts, Avalon Lara Diggle. Maggie Jane McFarland. Kristen Ashley McKenzie. Jill Terry Pilgrim. Veronica Lee Leilani Adams. Krista Ann McEachran. Marissa Ray McNeil. Taryn Ann Porter. David Alexander Thompson Anderson. Brianne Sherlyn Arsenault. Janice Alexandra Arsenault. Brittany Lauren Billings. Emily Bronwyn Blanchette. Elisha Mary Brown. Sarah Joan Betty Cowie. Blake Alfred Daly. Yaryen Jeffrey Denotter. Derek Clifford Alir Doucette. Victoria Hart Douglas. Laura Jane Dunn. Christy Alana Diane Edwards. Justin David Fairweather. Zachary Sean Fitch. Evan Nicholas Fougere. Samantha Dawn Garnett. Adrian Robert Jordy Godet. Shayna Danielle Lorena Goodine. Maggie Teresa Green. William Alexander Green. Alexandre Darcy Hayard. Miranda Mare Hallahan. Shayna May Hall. Jordan Alyssa Harnish. Eric Peter Iverson. Brock Hoy Jorgensen. Boyana Nikolaeva Kacharov. Jaleesa Marie Paris Dawn Kilbride. Matresa Brooklyn Shea Lamy. Patrick Aimé Langten. Jessica Michelle McLean. Matthew George Martin. Caitlin Allison Matcha. Lindsay Marie McAllister. Barry Patrick Thomas McCluskey. Maggie Jean McGovern. Brittany Megan McKell. Jackson Richard McKenzie. Aaron Francis McMurray. Claudette Marie-Jean Matot. Colleen Ann Matot. Benjamin John Morrissey. Jacqueline Dawn Murchison. Dongchen Na. Natasha Joan Nellis. Caitlin Marie Rankin. Chantel Grace Rich Jonka. Cynthia Roy. Brittany Ann Saab. Andrew Charles Sanford. Julien Marc Savoie. Stacy Jean Sexton. Sarah Patricia Shillington. Shannon Mary Spence. Elizabeth Lynn Starrett. Kimberly Ann Stewart. Rebecca Dawn Stewart. Samantha Elizabeth Thompson. Lindsay Mary Jean Tuplin. Melanie Dawn May Waite. Benjamin Robert Wilson. Holly Dawn Wright. Robin Lisa Young. This concludes the granting of the Bachelor of Arts degree. Bachelor of Applied Arts, Rebecca Jane Ewing. Megan Lee Fanjoy. Erin Lorraine McQuarrie. Alexandria Carol Noel Sampson. This concludes the granting of the Bachelor of Applied Arts degree. Juris Doctor. The Interim Dean of Law, John Williamson, will present the Juris Doctor diplomas. Brent Eric Bacumber. Danny James McMullen. Bodana Kachuk. Marcy Christine Wiggins. David Abishane. Ryan Andrew Adams. Duncan James Allison. Rakia Grace Austin. Mark Kevin Aylward. Courtney Michelle Barber. Leah Alexa Britt. Scott McLean Brownell. Graham Harold James Brennan Campbell. Edward Choi. Gabrielle Genève Chown. Mark Thomas Coombs. Peter Alexander Crozier. Carl William George Duligosh. Ashley Sarah Doyle. Caitlin Duggan. Ethan Eisen. Michael Carl Edward Ellison Uedi. Lee Allen English. Leah Marie Ferguson. Sarah Marie McQuaid Fitzpatrick. Morgan Elise Foley. Lara Maureen Joan Fraze Burry. Matthew Goff. David Wilfred Goyette. Vanessa Nicolene Gray. Lauren Mary Henderson. Kendra Rebecca Hunter. Jillian Innes. Megan Sarah Keating. Patrick Joseph Carr. Emma McCardle Kutka. Nicholas Anthony Lehman. Samantha Laura Lico. Suzette Francine McDonald. Michael Joseph McNeil. Samantha Lynn McPherson. Alan Hazen Anthony Mason. Caroline Helen McAvity. Mariah Natalie Ann McLaughlin. Alan Reed Morgan. Ryan Andrew Moss. Robert Mraz. Andrew Patrick Murphy. Sarah Dawn Nicholson. Brittany Noel. Brianna Colleen O'Grady. Mitchell Matthew O'Shea. Logan Austin Palmer. Sean Pittman. Matthew Reed Reinhardt. Gideon John Sams. Carla Amelia Saunders. Lydia Louise Scantlebury. Susan Shirtliff. Tara Simone Trefina Smith. Caroline Grace Spindler. Alex Andrea Stacy. Gwyneth Sheila Static. Megan Elizabeth Steinist. Raphael Jan Szymanski. Josh John Toombs. Naomi Vino. Guy Sebastian Weller. Jana Lynn Whalen. Madeline Alice White. Sabrina Ashley Dale Winters. Benjamin Richard Walters. Martin Wu. This concludes the granting of the Juris Doctor degrees. The Bachelor of Philosophy. The Dean of Renaissance College, Dr. Cynthia Stacy, will present the Bachelor of Philosophy and Bachelor of Integrated Studies diplomas. Catherine Elizabeth Arsenault. Carissa Dawn Bohr. Jessica Lee Brennan. Brittany Elizabeth Bryden. Amélie Anne Chesson. Shauna Christine Curran. Catherine Mary DeVoe. Nikki Michaela Dawn Falavina. Tefera Dawn Gosman. Jenna Elizabeth Guimont. Shannon Elisa Lilly. Rochelle Dawn Martin. Rebecca Randall. Sarah Melinda Rouse. Hillary Jean Swan. Sarah Elizabeth Taff. Matthew Patrick Wong. Anastasia Zatova. Kevin Michael Beats. Julie Gabrielle Frigo. Devin Shane Patterson. Cameron Patrick Paul. Jack Alistair Simpson. JC Elizabeth Target. Kathleen Mary Ward. This concludes the granting of the Bachelor of Philosophy degree. Bachelor of Integrated Studies, Phyllis Grant. Sally Beth McCrae. Lisa Margaret Portelli. Carolyn Ann Elizabeth Curry. Mark Joseph Dara. This concludes the granting of the Bachelor of Integrated Studies degree.
We shall now confer the master's degrees in course. The candidates will be presented by the Acting Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. John Kershaw. John.
The Master's Degrees of Arts. The candidates will remain seated for the supplication. Insignissimi praeses, amplissimi cancelare, supplicant senatui, et viec venerabili collegio gubernatori, hi baccalaria vel scholaris in facultate artium, quorum nomini ac studia iam rite cognita sunt et promulgata, et admentata ad proprium magistratum gradum in sua quisque facultate.
Placetni vobis senatores, placetni gubernatores, ut hi supplicatores admittantur.
The supplicants for the aforesaid master's degrees will stand for the admission by the President. Insignissimi praeses, amplissimi cancelare, tota universitatis, praesente vobis hasce supplicatores in supra dictis facultatibus et admittantur ad proprium magistratum gradum in sua quisque facultate testorque illos quad omni que statuta nostra requirent aptos et idoneos esse.
Ego admitto vos ad gradum magistri in Universitati Novi Brunswick.
You will now proceed in your assigned order onto the dais for individual acceptance. The Acting Assistant Dean of Graduate Studies, Luke Terrio, will present the master's diplomas. Masters of Arts. Bethany Faye Daigle. James William Johnson.
We shall now confer the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy. The candidates will be presented by Dr. Kershaw.
The degree Doctor of Philosophy. Candidates will stand for the supplication. Insignissimi praeses, amplissimi cancelari supplicanta senatui, auhuic venerabili collegio gubernatori. Sheldon Jeffrey Bailey, Clinical Psychology. Marcy Jacqueline Balsh, Clinical Psychology. Patricia Campbell Carlton, Interdisciplinary Studies. Christian Couturier, Interdisciplinary Studies. Adriana Fernanda Del Placio Gonzalez, Clinical Psychology. Anique Mylene Dubé, Interdisciplinary Studies. Michael Hayden Maynard, Interdisciplinary Studies. Nicola McHale, Clinical Psychology. Barbara Phyllis Morrissey, Sociology. William Patrick Vin Doyle, History. Magistri vel baccalaria et admentator ad gradum philosophia doctoris.
Placetni vobis senatores, placetni gubernatores, ut hi supplicatores admittantur.
The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy will come forward and stand before the dais for admission. Insignissimi praeses, amplissimi cancellare tota universitatis, praesentis vobis hasque supplicantores et admentanter ad gradam philosophia doctoris, testorque illos quod omni que statuta nostra requerent, aptos et ide novus esse.
Ego admino vos ad gradum philosophiae doctoris in Universitati Novi Brunswicki.
You will now proceed onto the dais for individual acceptance. Doctor of Philosophy, Marcia Jacqueline Balch. Marcy Balch to be Doctor of Philosophy in Clinical Psychology. Dr. Balch investigated global self-worth in adolescents with chronic illness and has demonstrated factors such as malgender, higher autonomy, and fewer depressive symptoms contribute to higher global self-worth. Her findings will contribute to the assessment and intervention of self-esteem problems in youth with chronic illness. Christian Couturier. Christian Couturier to be Doctor of Philosophy in Interdisciplinary Studies. Dr. Couturier uncovered an integrated leadership theory. His findings will contribute to improving critical leadership skills through the body of knowledge, providing a vocabulary, analytical discipline, and formal mapping structure that can be useful to address a wide variety of challenges that emerge as in leadership situations. Anique Mylene Dubé. Anique Dubé to be Doctor of Philosophy in Interdisciplinary Studies. Dr. Dubé collaboratively researched understanding of Aboriginal youth's experience with sexual health services and HIV/STI testing, First Nations funding and legislative bodies, along with histories of intergenerational shaping, education, and perceptions influenced access. The findings will enhance the understanding and inform present sexual health policies, programs, and services. Nicola McHale. Nicola McHale to be Doctor of Philosophy in Clinical Psychology. Dr. McHale's research investigated ways in which cognitive control of information stored in memory might contribute to difficulties with emotional regulations and depression vulnerability. Her findings will help better understand mechanisms contributing to the onset and maintenance of depression to potentially inform treatment of this disorder. Barbara Phyllis Morrissey. Barbara Phyllis Morrissey to be Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology. Dr. Morrissey conducted research into institutionalized long-term care for adults with significant disabilities and mental illness in New Brunswick. Her research will contribute to a better understanding of formal long-term care delivery in the province. William Patrick Vin Doyle. William Vin Doyle to be Doctor of Philosophy in History. Dr. Vin Doyle investigated the history of Canadian Union of Public Employees in New Brunswick. He demonstrated the complex struggles of civil servants and public employees to acquire and protect collective bargaining rights. Labor militancy was an important aspect in gaining and maintaining union rights for the public sector workers. This concludes the granting of degrees in course.
Congratulations, graduates. Please note that an English translation of your diploma has been placed inside the folder behind the parchment. In 2011, on the occasion of UNB's 225th anniversary, a new tradition was introduced, the UNB coin. I'd like to thank all those who made this tradition possible, from the committee who worked very hard to get the coin just right, to the associated alumni who made a significant financial contribution in support of the project. We hope this coin will carry your individual memories of a life-changing experience at UNB and serve as a reminder that when you combine an ambitious goal and personal dedication, you can attain anything. Maybe, more importantly, let this coin be a symbol that you were, are, and always will be part of our family, the worldwide family of thousands of UNB alumni who make the world a better place every day. We hope you will hold your coin with pride. We certainly are proud of you. We know you leave us with more knowledge, a greater sense of community, and the potential to make a significant difference in the quality of your own lives and the lives of those you touch as you take the next step in your life's journey. Congratulations on a job well done. I would now invite representatives of UNB's faculty, staff, and alumni to present the 2015 UNB coin.
Now I'd like to call upon Karen Taylor, past president of the UNB Associated Alumni, to deliver the welcome to new alums.
Ambassador Dr. Lyons, and on behalf of the UNB Associated Alumni, I'd like to offer a very sincere congratulations to you and for a marvelous speech. Thank you. Your Honor, Chancellor McCain, Board Chair McCain, President Campbell, faculty, families and friends of our graduates, but last but not least, our wonderful group of graduates today, and congratulations to all of you. It's truly an honor to be in the company of such accomplished, happy, and perhaps somewhat relieved graduates, family, and friends. What a wonderful day this is. On behalf of the UNB Associated Alumni and the Associated Alumni, may I offer a sincere congratulations on this your graduation day. Although I have not had the pleasure of meeting many of you, although I got to shake all of your hands, our newest members of the alumni, I would like to share a couple of observations with you, actually 3. The first one is that you are very effective decision makers. You chose to share your time, your talents, your knowledge, and your enthusiasm by being a student and now a graduate and alum of the University of New Brunswick. Secondly, you set your goals high and you achieve them. That is clearly evident today. As you move ahead in your journey, I share this quote from Anne Saddlemeyer, a Canadian scholar. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you cannot go through any particular door. Just be prepared to go through a door that leads to your goal. As an alumna or alumnus of UNB, you are joining the ranks of many trailblazing women and men who also set their sights high and achieved amazing results. Thirdly, you appreciate the importance of celebrating your accomplishments and your successes. As a graduate of UNB, you will have many more successes and opportunities to celebrate as you go through life. Graduates of UNB make a significant difference in our world. Our alum are world-class researchers, entrepreneurs, educators, engineers, nurses, trailblazers, pioneers, and many, many more. You are now a member of this wonderful UNB family, and you will be so for the rest of your lives. It may come as a bit of a shock, but in case you didn't know it, you are now more than 80,000 alumni family members across the globe. So as you look around today, these are your newest brothers and sisters. Big surprise, right? As alumni, we hope that you will stay involved with UNB. There are many ways to do that. Faculties have advisory boards. We have a dedicated board of governors, active alumni and alumni councils, and chapters in many locations. Remember, as a UNB family member, and as families do, we want you to come back to UNB home for a visit as often as you can. Homecoming is a wonderful way to do that. Another hope that we have for you is that you will share your time and talents in your communities. Share good news stories about UNB and the amazing opportunities it provides. Leave room to dream, believe in the power of the possible, and the absolute importance of making a positive difference wherever you are. As Canadian Olympic gold medalist Lori-Ann Munzer said, nothing is impossible, it's what you decide your limits are. Be proud, be passionate UNB grads, and above all, and this is the second time you're going to hear this morning, as Oscar Wilde said, be yourself, everybody else is taken. Congratulations and welcome to the UNB alumni.
Thank you, Karen. Again this year, the graduating class has asked that the valedictory be presented at Encaenia. The valedictorian for this ceremony is Danny McMullen from Brampton, Ontario, who received his Juris Doctor degree today. Mr. McMullen, I invite you to deliver the valedictory address.
Your Honor, Mr. Chancellor, members of the Board of Governors, Mr. President, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and graduates. Welcome to all of you, and congratulations to all of us for making it here. Bienvenue à tout le monde et félicitations. Before I start talking to the graduates, I'd like to first thank everyone who made this day possible. This is not a journey that we have completed on our own. It's thanks to the ongoing support to those who believed in us. Our support team includes professors who encouraged us, parents who sent care packages and motivational text messages before exams, significant others who stuck it out even though we abandoned them during exams, and friends who listened as we vented about our first awful grade. All of these people deserve to be recognized and thanked for their contributions. And I would like to personally thank all of you for making these 3 years some of the most enriching and rewarding of my life. And a special thank you to my wife and kids who've inspired me to be here. Thank you. Graduates, graduates of Ceremony C, we made it. It's an honor to speak to you all today. Our ceremony is very diverse. We have the entire arts program, Renaissance College, interdisciplinary studies, and the law school here. This ceremony serves as a capstone to the memories of our phenomenal educational experience here. This celebration stands for the hundreds of hours spent in the Hill, the Sub, or the Gerard Villafray Library, digesting thousands of pages of text. It commemorates the bleary-eyed all-nighters finishing papers or cramming for exams, and the many, many hours we spent standing in the ridiculous Timmy's line at the Sub. It's also a time to think about the friendships we've made here. After today, many of us will scatter. Today, though, we celebrate the connections we've made, starting with those first awkward, where are you from and what's your major conversations during orientation week, to laughs over cheap pints at the cellar, and maybe a few too many nights in the tannery or social club. Luckily, thanks to social media, it is easier than ever to maintain these connections and stay in touch. Now, despite the diversity of this group, I think we have a lot in common. I think that since we've made it here, it means at least the following three things. 1, we're stubborn. We're determined to follow our passion despite the odds. We're art students and law students. How many of us heard, oh, liberal arts, eh? Well, you better get used to hearing, I'd like a half-calf cappuccino with extra foam. How many people going into law were warned away because of the articling crunch? Despite these obvious challenges, we move forward with our goals. That stubborn doggedness to pursue our passion has brought us here today. And the success we achieve moving forward will ultimately vindicate our gritty resolve to get a degree in something that we love. Number 2, we're curious. We wanted to better understand how the world works. We came to UNB with questions, and if we did it right, we've probably finished with more questions than we started with. But that natural curiosity, coupled with the skills we've learned at UNB, will promote a lifelong search for knowledge and discovery that will reap tremendous dividends in an economic environment where creative destruction is the norm and our career paths will largely be of our own creation. Number 3, we're open to new ideas. Studying the arts or law or interdisciplinary studies can be an exercise in frustration. Just when you think you've got something figured out, another perspective is presented that takes you out at the knees. It forces you to revisit your own preconceived notions. The impulse to seek a different perspective is absolutely critical at a time when our personal ecosystems will reflect a diversity that simply didn't exist in the past. Those willing to embrace other ideas and see the strength in a diaspora of approaches will be the stronger for it. These character traits that we brought with us, honed through our studies and advanced through interaction with such a fine group of friends and scholars, has given us a solid foundation as we take our next steps. Our paths will be diverse. Some will move on to advanced degrees, others will be going straight into the private or public sector, but none of us actually knows what our future holds. We are leaving university at a time that is truly unprecedented. I know every graduating class thinks and says the same thing, but I think it's fair and accurate to say that not since the Industrial Revolution has the world of work been in such a state of flux. Approaching technological changes, the rise of the sharing economy and on-demand workforce, coupled with an increased interconnectedness, is morphing and changing the working world at a staggering pace. Most of us will change jobs, careers, and professions multiple times. Reinvention and radical change will be par for the course as we compete against and collaborate with the global community. It's an exciting, scary, and challenging time, but I, for one, am excited to see what the class of 2015 will go on to do, because I'm confident that the knowledge and skills we've gained here will allow us to achieve success moving forward. As we leave university and enter the professional world, it will be a difficult transition in some ways, and not just because there will be fewer naps or perpetual 3-day weekends. Having started my university career after working full-time for several years, I know it can be very easy to get beaten down by the monotonous humdrum of the working world. The long hours and challenging work environment could make us forget the passion and dreams that pushed us to pursue our degrees in the first place. But I encourage us all to shelter that spark, to continue to feed our curiosity, creativity, and openness to new ideas as we leave. It will only be by following our passions that we will find true personal success and fulfillment. One of my favorite professors here said to our class in first year that when we finish our degrees, we have a responsibility. Because, for better or worse, the fact that we are now university graduates will mean that our words carry greater weight and our opinions will be afforded more deference. For this reason, I believe we have a responsibility to use our natural gifts and our degrees to make a difference in the world. Winston Churchill said, "What is the use of living if it be not to strive for noble causes and to make this muddled world a better place for those who will live in it after we are gone?" And I avow my faith that we are marching towards better days. I believe very strongly, as Dr. Lyons said today, that we are marching towards better days, and that we, the class of 2015, by pursuing our passions, have a key role to play in that march. So class of 2015, once again, congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you, Danny. On behalf of the Chancellor, the Board of Governors, the Senate, and the faculty, I extend to all who have received their degrees here today our most sincere congratulations on your achievement and our very best wishes for the future. A special thank you to the St. John String Quartet, David Adams, Danny Sametz, Christopher Buckley, Sonia Adams, as well as our trumpeter, Robert Dutton, for providing the music for our 186th Encaenia. I'd also like to thank all of those who have assisted with the arrangements for this Encaenia, from the horticulturalists and groundskeepers who make a big effort to make sure the campus looks gorgeous on these days, and to those who try to ensure that this ceremony runs as smoothly as possible. Thank you very much. At the conclusion of the ceremony, you're all invited to join the Encaenia Tea in McConnell Hall, directly across the road from this building. The Associated Alumni will be selling diploma frames there, and a photo booth has been set up as well for you to capture more memories with your family and with your friends. It is now my pleasure to invite Tafara Gosman, who received her Bachelor of Philosophy degree this morning, to come up onto the platform and lead us in the singing of O Canada. Would you all please rise and remain standing until the academic procession has retired? Tafara.